Oh, wait. What? It's wrong. So I bring a t-shirt.
Honest.
I literally told to be working. Oh. That's my body.
You like your chairs that lean back?
Yes.
Oh,
How many time do we have?
Science.
Like
I guess you're no longer. He doesn't say Hina.
Yeah. And then. I think there's a different chair. I haven't seen these chairs.
Yes.
We just have to put. Can you, actually, this probably doesn't need to be done right now.
What?
Correct minutes, the timeline. It's wrong, I saw it. It goes 8:55, 9, 9:29, 9:01.
We can take it up. in the meeting.
That's my fault. I was messing with the agenda earlier today.
It's true, right?
Rachel.
Okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Seth. Thank you for bearing with us today. Yeah, we have voice issues. Senators, I'd like to remind you all to use the microphone in your time because it's helping with this sound problem we're having. So it's easier for the folks to hear. We will begin introductions. The question of the day is, what has been your favorite Halloween costume for yourself over the years? My name is Philippe Dubois, member of the Department's Finance Committee. I'm also the ASUO Senate president, and my favorite costume of the years was when I was at Elmo, and I dressed up action racing all the photos today.
Oh.
I think you might have to exit with this. The Senate tech was what they are. There we go.
Oh.
We'll go next to Peters.
Hi, Nikki. My name is Vanessa Peters. I'm studying C2 PFC. And my favorite Halloween costume is when I dressed up as Gandalf, and, like with full beard, everything. And my little brother is a Lego guy, so we got a bunch of pictures, Gandalf and a Lego. Incredible.
Hey y'all, my name's Anthony Lopez. I'm part of KFC Senate 3. I think one of my favorite ones, I think KFC already heard it, but I was the kid from ET. My dad made a paper mache ET. And I had like a little box and bike handles and everything. It was really cool one that year.
My name's Emma. I'm from CC 4. My favorite Halloween was my first Halloween I celebrated, which was freshman year of high school, and I was just a cat.
Hello, my name is Daniel Bose and it's C5 CFC. Probably Chucky, just so I can like run around and chase people.
My name is Eleanor Potter, Senate Team 6, CFC. My favorite Halloween costume was I think it was junior year of high school. My friend group and I were all the Animal Farm characters, so I was Snowball and Slade, and my best friend was George Orwell.
Jordan Ackman, CFC seat 07. And I think it might have been last year and I'm recycling it this year because I kind of just accidentally wore it and then people were like, oh, you look like Shaggy. And I was like, you're right, I do have brown pants and a green shirt on. So that became my costume.
Hi everyone, I'm Victoria Piero, she, her pronouns, C5, GFC. And my most memorable was last year when I was the Lorax. That was really hard.
Hello, everybody. My name is Priscilla Moreno. I use she, her pronouns. I am Senate Seat 10, DFC, and Senate Treasurer. I think my favorite is what I have now, which is I'm Talik. I definitely need to get the batteries down a little bit more, but I'll be ready by tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Rachel Withers. I use she, her pronouns. I'm academic 12. I do really enjoy this week. Lopez Dubois is the costume right now. But I think when I was a freshman in high school, I dressed as Dwight from The Office, his first iteration of the Cyclops. He does Cyclops every year for Earth Day. Yes, it is extremely niche, look it up, it was very funny.
Hello, my name is Ruta Barrett Panetta. I use she, her pronouns, and I am Senate seat 13. And I think my favorite costume was junior year. My friends and I like all wore like onesies, and I was like a dragon onesie. It was pretty cool.
Hey everyone, my name is Susan Nagarajan. I use he, him pronouns, Senate seat 14. I think my favorite Halloween costume was probably like Spider-Man from like fifth grade or something. Way back.
Hi everyone, my name is Bella Esbeck, she, her pronouns, Senate seat 16 and academic chair is on. Yeah, it says.
Thank you, going.
I think my favorite Halloween costume was when I was, I think around 6, I dressed up as a chef and my sister was a baby, but she was dressed like as a lobster and I carried her around in a giant pot. And the pictures are so.
Woo. What's this one? Woo.
Hello. Can you hear me?
And you're talking, but we can't hear you. Oh. Okay. Go.
Is it good? Are we good?
Yes.
Okay, hello, my name is Joanne. I'm Sensi 15, representing psychology students, go by she, her pronouns. And my favorite outfit or Halloween costume was last year. I was Rosetta from Tinkerbell, and all my friends were each like Silver Mist and then Tinkerbell in each character, so that was really fun.
Francesca, Senate seat 17, she, her pronouns. And my favorite Halloween costume is probably this year's, which is Rob from Love Island.
Hi guys, I'm Liz Gross, Senate seat 18, School of Journalism and Communication, she, her pronouns. Let's see, most memorable is obviously all of us actually being Mr. President, Malik Lopez Dubois. Heyo. And I also really like my costume that I have planned for Saturday. If any of you guys have seen Succession, I'm gonna be Kendall Roy. I'm gonna be Kendall Roy when he sings like the rap to his dad and like the jersey. And like the headphones and glasses, yeah. That was funny.
Hi everyone, Katie Dillon, Tennessee 19, and my favorite costume of all time was when I was Batman when I was like probably 7 or 8. It was just a really good costume. Big fan.
A resident Batman.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Erin Ludeman. I am Senate 20, she, her pronouns. And my favorite costume was probably my costume from last year, and I was Ginger Spice.
Ducharme?
Hello, my name is Andrew Ducharme, he, him, Senate seat 22, representing grad students in the College of Design and the College of Arts and Sciences. I think my favorite Halloween costume was the Pink Panther when I was quite young.
Hi everyone, my name is Emily Cole, Senate seat 23, representing grad students. My favorite costume, my last year of college, I just wore my regular clothes and said I was a beautiful girl.
Yes. Hi, I'm Haley. I use she, her pronouns. I'm the administrative clerk. And I think my favorite costume was when I was a pageant. My mom did all my hair, made me wear a dress, sash, everything.
I'm Chair Garrity, Senate seat 1, Senate Vice President, PFC Chair, and PFC learned my deepest, darkest secret on Monday about my Halloween costume, and it is that in 6th grade I dressed up as Miranda sings the whole shebang. There are pictures, but I think a close second now is dressing up as Talik Zoom version.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That's not funny.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kiki Apagio. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the ASUO Vice President. And my favorite costume to date is when I dressed up as Lady Gaga, so second grade.
Awesome. Some great costumes over the years. I've been more recent years than other. I love you're all wearing costumes today. I'd also like to highlight just a few people that are in the room with us tonight. We have ASUO Chief of Strategy, Robbie Cullen. Sorry. I'm just announcing the other ASUO officers that are in the room. Secretary of Student Organizations, Daphne, PFC Exec Designee, Justin, and DFC at Large, Madison Kunkler. Thank you all for being here. We will now move on to the next item on the agenda, land development. Peters.
The University of Oregon is located on Calapooya Iliki, the traditional indigenous homeland of the Calapooya people. Following treaties between 1851 and 1855, Calapooya people were dispossessed of their indigenous homeland by the United States government and forcibly removed to the Coast Reservation in Western Oregon. Today, Calapooya descendants are primarily citizens of the Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde and the Confederated Tribes of Siletz Indians. And they continue to make important contributions to their community, to the UO, to the lands now known as Oregon, and to the world. In following the Indigenous Protocol of acknowledging the original people of the land we occupy, we also extend our respect to the 9 federally recognized Indigenous nations of Oregon. The Burns Paiute Tribe, the Confederated Tribes of the Coos, Lower Umpqua, and Siuslaw Indians, the Confederated Tribes of the Grand Ronde, the Confederated Tribes of Siletz Indians, the Confederated Tribes of the Umatilla Indian Reservation, the Confederated Tribes of Warm Springs, the Coquel Indian Tribe, the Cow Creek Band of Umpqua Tribe of Indians, and the Klamath Tribes. We express our respect to the many more tribes who have ancestral connections to this territory, including the Chinook Indian Nation and the Fort McDermott Paiute and Shoshone tribes, as well as all other displaced Indigenous peoples who call Oregon home.
I move to approve the agenda.
Second and Scrow.
Motion made by Dylan, second and Scrow, all in favor.
Aye.
Opposed. Other. Great, thank you so much. Okay. Now, do we have anyone here today for announcements? Welcome back, Callie. It's nice to see you.
Happy week 5, everyone. We just wanted to share a quick update on Osberg from the last week. My name's Callie and I'm the Osberg Vice Chair, and I run the New Voters campaign, which is insane right now. I don't know if anyone's aware, but we have an election in 6 days. And leading up to the election, Osberg students, as well as our national partners, are going to be calling students, helping them to make their plans to vote, and encouraging them to turn their friends out to vote. On election day, we are going to be doing a nonpartisan party at the polls. On the EMU green, the one that's not the circle one, the other one. We're going to be celebrating students at UO who are civically engaged. We're going to be collaborating with the Holden Center as well as UO Athletics, the Department of Government and Community Relations. Some of you all I know have been on those calls, and more. We're gonna have a giant inflatable goat that is our vote goat. It is like 10 feet tall, but we're also gonna have, we got some vote goat totes that we're gonna have, fact sheets, stickers, buttons, and more. Our goal is to have 5,000 get out to vote contacts by that point. With UO students between now and the end of the election to make sure students are turning out to the polls. I knew myself, I was gonna take this on.
I have a couple of updates. First is Congresswoman Val Hoyle and Lisa Fregala, who is a candidate for the Oregon House of Representatives, came to our campus for a town hall yesterday. Fun fact, Val Hoyle is a MassPerg alum, and she actually gave a shout out to the student pergs when she saw two of our OSPerg members wearing their OSPerg shirts, which is very cool. And they came to hear about issues that students care about for the upcoming year. And two of our Better Bag Ban campaign coordinators, Asher and Kieran, went to the town hall to highlight the need to take action as a state and country to combat our growing plastic waste crisis. Federally, we spoke in support of the Plastic Pellet Free Waters Act. An estimated 10 trillion plastic pellets enter our oceans every single year, making them the second largest source of marine microplastic by weight. And this bill would ban discharges of plastic pellets from facilities or sources that make, use, package, or transport them. It's a simple solution to this growing problem. And I actually had the opportunity to canvass on this issue over the summer, and it was very clear that it's a common sense issue that people in the larger Eugene community really care about. And statewide, we spoke in support of our updated plastic bag ban in Oregon. Fregala at the town hall said she would be open to signing onto an open letter in support of the bill. And if elected, we'll be following up with her regarding her support for the plastic bag ban and have follow-up meetings asking her to co-sponsor the bill, which is very exciting. Last thing, we have a state update. Reworld, hello, Oregon just announced they will be closing their last facility in Oregon. This means that Oregon's last remaining incinerator will be closing by the end of the year. Burning solid waste is harmful to public health and our environment. Incinerators burn waste material at extremely high temperatures, producing air pollution. Some of these emissions include cancer-causing and highly toxic pollutants. In 2023, we supported a bill that would more strictly cap and monitor toxic emissions from the Brooks incinerator to promote clean air and healthy communities. Last week, the company announced it would cease operations altogether. This is a really exciting win for Oregonians' public health and our statewide fight against climate change. And that's all. Thank you, everybody.
You guys, thank you for all the work you're doing. Do you have anything else for announcements? Did you want to do the?
Oh.
Sorry, not to throw you on the spot or.
No, sorry. This is just a surplus accessibility committee update. Again, we met on Monday so that we can go through all your responses. We're gonna meet again on Friday to kind of get some more concrete things done, but it's seeming like people are wanting just guidelines for how to spend surplus and not necessarily hard and fast rules. So that's what we're more leaning towards. Everyone is welcome to come to that meeting. We are kind of trying to reach an agreement about when to spend unallocated reserve and when to spend surplus, since we have suspended that Senate rule. So we kind of have been floating around the number of $800, but I think we still need to go back and kind of have a conversation about. Yes, question?
No.
Okay, we still need to go back and kind of think about that, because we're still getting more information about how unallocated reserve works and the rules around that and surplus and all that good stuff. So we're just trying to gather a lot of information. And if you want to be part of that discussion, you're more than welcome to come on Friday at 3 p.m. in this week. But we're still a work in progress. We're trying to get things so that we can have more guided decisions in Senate, but yeah.
Awesome, thank you. And you can go to say a little bit to that. We also got more clarification on like the investment. The estimate. We can do that. The answer is still. Yeah, but there's.
Victoria said it in a nicer way than I would. The limit that we reached for $800, we like it. We want it to be in place.
Is this something that will be practiced today, or is this just something that we're gonna be implementing in the future?
Certainly can be. It's up to anyone, like if when making the motion, if you want to say, I think we should do surplus because of whatever.
Okay.
Otherwise.
Okay, we'll play it by.
If surplus accessibility committee comes to a consensus about limits and restrictions, does that become a rule or does it remain a suggestion?
Not my thing, it's a suggestion.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? No one else for announcements? Okay, great. Anyone here for public forum? Going once? Okay, great. We can now move on to financial business. The Surplus Accessibility Committee also realized that there was an error on October 8th. In the minutes, it reflects that we need to do the Folklore Society request from surplus, and for some reason came out of unallocated reserves. So right now we're working with student organizations. So they're gonna reverse it. So there will be more than allocated, 11,000 more than allocated reserve by the end of the week. And then by suggestion of somebody in the Surplus Accessibility Committee, Senator Withers, we have the number that surplus started at beginning of FY25. So we can see how much we've spent since July 1st. Yes.
You mind waiting in?
But other than that, that's it. Oh yeah, so surplus is at $1,104,680, $6,093. Okay, for our first unallocated reserve request, do we have somebody here today for women?
We moved to hear the unallocated, or we
Well,
just,
if somebody's here, yeah. No, no. Okay, we also don't have to table it. We can, if we look at, if somebody wants to, feels comfortable making a motion, we can. I'm just putting that out there. Withers.
I move to table the request from Women in Creative Industries.
Second, Moreno.
Motion made by Withers, seconded Moreno, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Other? Okay. Okay, anyone here for Civic Impact Coalition?
On the engage form, it says it's denied.
Oh, maybe that's better not here. Okay, thank you. Before we go,
For this one,
yes.
they're here. They're here, but it does say it's denied.
Oh, for this one?
Yes,
The Civic Impact Coalition?
but I think it's just for one.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, 1 second, let me figure
We can go into that when
Yeah, it doesn't look very
because
expensive.
there's an amendment.
out. Oh, okay. Did you see ASUO Finance left a comment on your?
Yeah, I resubmitted it earlier today for the surplus or unallocated reserves request.
There's probably an amendment.
Unless there was another one after like
Okay, let me see.
1 PM today, but
I don't think it's that big of a deal though.
It shouldn't be.
Yeah, we could.
Can somebody make the motion to hear the notes?
You're out.
Okay.
I move to hear the unallocated reserve request from Civil Impact Coalition. Second, as that.
Motion made by Yara, seconded by Beck, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Other? Great. Okay, if you want to explain a little bit about your request, I'll make sure that all the senators get it.
yeah. Hi, I'm Sienna Fitzpatrick. I'm the president of Civic Impact Coalition. I use they them pronouns and obviously.
Okay, my name is Agustin Olivares Lucero. I'm the treasurer of the club and I use he, his, him pronouns.
So we're a brand new club. We're in the School of Planning, Public Policy and Management. We became an official club at the end of spring term of last year. So this is our kind of only request for funds from ASUO for the year, but we've raised some external funds to supplement our request, which is why we're only coming today for $1,000. But that money would make a really great difference. We put forward in our proposal some activities we would like to do, which right now with the funding we have, we would be able to do some of them, but not all of them. And we think having a really successful first year of our club would make a big difference. And a little bit about our club, we are, like I said, in the School of Planning, Public Policy and Management. So we're really focused on public affairs, engagement, and education for students, as well as community service projects that directly impact the Lane County community. And hopefully eventually in the future, the broader like Oregon community, but we're trying to start a little bit more reasonable in our first year. So our couple of kind of like program or project requests that the money would go towards in the first year is getting our students, we have a partnership with Lane County and they are basically providing projects for students to work on during the year. So we'd like to bring students to the county commission to present the work that they've done at the end of the year. Some field trips, hopefully to get out to some community service organizations and government agencies to give students some educational experience and then do some kind of service project. And then we have a planned end of year retreat, which would be kind of one of our bigger events. And that's where we would do a lot of our planning for the next year, as well as celebrating everything we accomplished during the school year, and I'm happy to talk about more of any of that.
Awesome. Thanks so much for giving us the run and being here tonight. Withers.
Hi, thank you so much for being here. I have a question for you about how many people will be attending your events?
Yeah, right now we've only had, I think we've had like 3 or 4 meetings so far this term, but we've had between 15 and 20 people attend membership wise pretty consistently. And part of that, I think we would have higher numbers if we didn't have to just randomly pick a time for our meeting without having any members last year. But we're hopeful we'll get up to closer to 30 students regularly at our weekly meetings.
Thank you. And this is a question for people up there. If we just, in the motion, if we just say, because the note from.
Oh, I sent the new rules.
Oh, you did? Okay.
It's in the.
Okay, but it'll just say, to line item food for events, correct? To each one. Okay,
It's
yeah, but, okay. Thank you, I guess.
We also don't know how to do any of this stuff, so sorry we're doing it wrong.
Oh, you're fine. You didn't do that. That was on my end. Anybody else? Round.
I put a motion on the table.
Absolutely.
I move to authorize spending from unallocated reserve to group Civic Impact Coalition, OS number OS 336. $300 to new line item end of year retreat, $150 to new line item Lane County presentations, $200 to new line item service project, $200 to new line item field trip in Eugene, and $150 to new line item food for events for a total of $1,200.
Second, reverse Pinetta.
Motion made by Moreno, seconded Pinheiro. Peeters.
Aye.
Lopez.
Aye.
Aye. Bo. Aye. Connor.
Aye.
Ackerman. Aye. Pinheiro.
Aye.
Moreno.
Aye.
Oh, dude, sorry. Withers.
Aye.
Here's for that.
Aye.
Nagarajan.
Aye. Woo.
Aye.
Espec.
Aye.
Hagman.
Aye.
Stroud.
Aye.
Aye.
Boo.
Aye.
Ducharme.
Aye.
The amount they have listed was $1,000. The motion was for 1,200.
Oh.
Would you like to amend your motion or should I go to?
I would like to amend my motion.
Go for it.
Oh, I have to put a new one? I have to say the whole thing again? Okay, I get to say it. Sorry about that. Yeah. I would authorize spending from unallocated reserve to Group Civic Impact Coalition, OS number OS 336. For $300 to new line item end of year retreat, $150 to new line item Lane County presentation, $200 to new line item service project, $200 to new line item field trip in Eugene, $150 to new line item food for events for a grand total of $1,000.
Motion made by Moreno, seconded Lopez. Is there any discussion?
I think the first motion was for surplus, and then this one, you just said unallocated reserve.
It's an unallocated reserve,
Is an
right?
Yes, but we can hold them surplus.
You can do either one.
It's for unallocated reserve.
So you want to pull it up?
Yes, correct.
Okay, that's.
Withers.
I mean, I was just gonna say I would like to pull it from surplus, but yeah, that's it.
Yours.
Yeah, I'm gonna second what Withers said. So for those of you senators who don't know, if we don't spend unallocated reserve, it just goes to surplus. So let that affect your decisions as it will, but I would also like to recommend that it be pulled from surplus.
Moreno, then Pinheiro.
Similar to the last discussion from last Senate meeting, I think that the way that they split up this $1,000 amount makes a lot of sense considering they're in New Oregon, they're starting up. $1,000 doesn't seem absurd to me to support a newly recognized org from unallocated reserve.
before we go, Yara, I'm just gonna say if you want this to come from surplus, vote no, and then we can have a new motion. So Moreno, and then we'll go. Who's the name?
Yeah.
And Yara, sorry.
That's why I kind of wanted to clarify that the 800 number that we were floating around is still like not set in stone because of that information. I think we as a committee need to talk about that more, because like after the meeting, I was thinking about it and I was like, why are we even pulling from an allocated reserve way if it's just gonna go back to the surplus? So that's just question mark.
So I'm getting word from Becky right now, so we're gonna go after I talk, we'll get you, Sean, we'll get you in a second. So it says funds carry forward with an unallocated reserve from 1 year to the next. They do not get swept to surplus. So if it's what's not used in unallocated reserve will stay there. Okay. Okay, Withers and then Ducharme.
I agree. When she says that this is $1,000 is a reasonable request, I'm very happy to fund this. However, the amount of money we have allocated to unallocated reserve is significantly smaller than the money we have in surplus. And if we go at this rate, we will run out of unallocated reserve and we will not be able to fund the orgs who can pull from it if we continue to fund this much money to all of them. However, if we continue to fund this much money to all of them from surplus, we will still have a bunch of surplus at the end of the year. So the risk of us running out of unallocated reserve and not being able to give money to new orgs is significantly higher than the risk of us running out of reserve.
So
I yield.
Ducharme and then Moreno, and then I'm gonna limit debate.
I understand the concern about pulling from an unallocated reserve, but we can choose to pull from surplus or unallocated reserve at any time, so long as 2/3 of us vote to do so. I'm sorry, it might be 3/4, but the important part is we don't necessarily need to be so concerned with eliminating unallocated reserve, because we always can pull from surplus, even if we got to the end of the year and unallocated reserve was emptied. It is a Senate rule that we could suspend or change at any time that's limiting us from doing that.
Great, thanks. Am
I missing something? Like, I think either way they're gonna get funded. I don't know why I'm spending 10 minutes to fund the very simple request. I mean, if we use unallocated reserve and then we run out of it, we use surplus. Other vice versa will be the same thing. Like, if there's no point in like spending time going back and forth about this, it's just what
Right.
I agree with Senator Bo, and I also want to second what Barb said. I think it's a little bit silly to assume that every single org that can pull from unallocated reserve is actually going to make an unallocated reserve request. So to split up unallocated reserve evenly among all of them doesn't make a lot of sense, especially considering there's going to be varying needs. For example, if a club grew a lot in the past months, they might need a little bit more to jumpstart and support their newly recognized org, as opposed to one that might need maybe less than $800. It just doesn't make sense to split it up evenly when these orgs are going to have varying needs. I yield.
I call the question.
Second and scrum.
Yeah, that's like Robert's rule says that we gotta vote, we can discuss afterwards. Peters. Sorry, this is for surplus was the last one?
Nope.
Oh, this is unallocated reserve, okay. Peters.
Nay.
Lopez.
Aye.
Mohammed.
Aye.
Vote.
Aye.
Potter.
Aye.
Akin.
Aye.
Kanier.
Nay.
Moreno.
Aye.
Withers.
Nay.
Ramirez Pineda.
Aye.
Nagaraj.
Aye.
Esbeck.
Aye.
Wu.
Aye.
Magdalena.
Aye.
Scro.
Aye.
Dillon.
Aye.
Ludeman.
Aye.
Ducharme.
Aye.
Cole.
Aye.
Parity.
Aye.
And I say aye as well. How many is that? 1 second. Pretty sure that this passes. Okay, great. The motion is adopted, guys. Thanks so much for being here today. Awesome. Okay. All right. Do we have somebody from Moot Court Board here with us? Great. come on.
Hi, I'm Jamie. I'm from the Law School's Moot Court Board. We're asking for $2,000 from the surplus for our upcoming mock trial competition. The mock trial competition is a more practical, legal competition where students can come and compete, and they do a fake opening argument and a fake cross-examination. All students can come and compete, and we advertise undergrads and grad students and obviously law students. And the money would be used for food and drink for competitors and judges throughout the day. It's expected to last about 8 hours.
Then Spro, then Ramirez Pineda.
Thanks for being here, Jamie. I am just going to make this motion. Okay. I move to authorize spending from Group University of Oregon Moot Court Board, number OS 324, in the amount of $2,000 to existing line item named Moot Court Competition.
Motion made by Cole, seconded Ludeman.
Aye.
Lopez. Aye. Ahmed.
Aye.
Bo.
Aye.
Potter.
Aye.
Hackett. Aye. Pinheiro.
Aye.
Moreno.
Aye.
Withers.
Aye.
Ramirez Pinella.
Aye.
Nagarajan.
Aye.
Wu.
Aye.
Nesbitt.
Aye.
Bakaluna.
Aye.
Spro.
Aye.
Dillon.
Aye.
Ludeman.
Aye.
Ducharme.
Nay.
Cole.
Aye.
Garrity.
Aye.
And I say aye as well. Thanks, Jamie.
Thank you.
Mia, great. And I think Mia's presentation is great. 11, good.
Yeah, have a little presentation to go with it. Yeah. I feel like photos always makes it a little bit better.
I agree.
I can look forward. I like something to look at.
And just, I know we haven't done the presentation, but when we do get to the motion, we're gonna do them separately just to make them easier on the minutes. So whoever does that, take it away, Mia.
Hi, my name is Mia. I'm in charge of finance and events for Line Magazine, which is fashion and lifestyle magazine here. It's 100% student run. And as of this year, we have over 150 student members just this term contributing, which is super exciting. It's our largest year ever. And then we also have like 20 people on exec. So it's a big group, but we love it. We are actually asking for 2 different surpluses today. The first one, you can, the next slide. Awesome. Oh yeah, that's us at the most recent Allen club fair thing. Puddles came and took a picture with us in our bags. So unfortunately, this year we were charged $11,556.04 by UO accounting in this fiscal year. When I did file it to be put and spent last fiscal year. Because of that, we are $11,000 short in our budget. And we do need those $11,000 in order to be able to print all 3 terms. Because of that, I am asking for that amount in surplus just to kind of make it up because that wasn't anything that was on our bad. And just an unfortunate mistake that happened with the accounting situation. Our next surplus request, which if you want to say, is a lot more fun. We're requesting 3,000. Oh yeah, that was us giving away shirts. We're requesting $3,000 to help us with the costs of tabling and events for all members and students. 3,000 may seem like a lot, but we have a very high turnout of students to events. Most recently, we did the Depop and Align collab, which was super fun. We had a little clothing swap. Like personally, I got like 2 cute new jackets for like completely free. So like I was over the moon. We gave out over 300 like Depop tote bags, and in each tote bag we had snacks, issues, stickers, and some even got free keychains in them. And it was 100% free to any student that stopped by. So that was super fun to be able to do that. We had exactly 302 students show up. And so that was also an event that was a little bit more last minute. It was also not in a super commonly high traffic area, and it was also raining and outside. So we firmly believe that we could do anywhere between 400 to 500 people showing up at an event that is better publicized. Because of this, we do need higher numbers for the money for requesting this. This would help us cover the costs of tabling. So that means like setting up fees from like the school. And then also like snacks, anything promotional that we give out. And then also this would cover bonding for a lot of our members. So since we do have roughly 150 members, if we even want to give like a snack to every one of them, that is going to be low key like a lot of money because we have to go to Costco and get that. And that is something that we are hoping to do just to kind of contain, keep the numbers up and everything. So. Oh, this is just a little event highlight of things that we've done that we would be spending the money on. For example, like our club fair stuff, flea market. We do like free headshots for a lot of students in Allen Hall, which is really great. Other fun stuff.
We also have to our and then I do want to speak, I inquired a little bit today about that accounting error. I think I was told that those funds actually even went back to surplus.
Oh.
And so the funds that were supposed to have been in the place that they are asking them from, so that one seems a little strange. So we're good. From Withers to Sean.
Hi, Damia. So good to see you. Thanks for coming today. Thanks for the slides. Those make it a little bit more fun for Senate. So yeah, the first one's pretty straightforward. However, I do have a question about the second one. So $3,000 again doesn't seem too crazy for surplus. However, as kind of you're going through, I want to kind of get your rationale a little bit and also hear some senators' opinions on the amount of free things you give away. Because I understand you're a very large group on campus with a lot of traction. Align's a huge deal on this campus. Everyone loves Align, right? So, and you guys do have a lot of members and a lot of people know about Align. So totally get that, totally know that you want to keep up the rep of like giving out, getting your word out. However, it does come back and like that does have the tail end of it of we just have to give you that money just for you to do those free things. So, and I do see in your request that you do like you take a percentage from tabling and such to try and fundraise a little bit. However, so I have two parts to this. A little bit of my issue is like, that's a lot of free stuff to be giving away. And the second one is, have you ever thought about charging a little bit more than 5% for tabling or like a little bit more for your free Allen headshots or anything like that, that maybe fundraises a little bit more? How have you decided these numbers just from surplus?
Yeah, so last year we were doing exclusively fundraising for any sort of merchandise. And so all stickers, keychains, all that stuff, we bought using money that we fundraised throughout the year. This year we were hoping to have more kind of free events for students. And so what goes along with free events is we often can't charge people for stuff, for example, like the headshots thing. But in the past, we have done $5 headshots, which is it's still kind of up in air because we're doing one next week, whether or not we're going to do $5 or $0. And so, you know, we are more than happy to fundraise. And that is something that I am very passionate about and think we should continue doing. However, this was more just we've never had a line item other than printing. That's the only line item we have. So it's very cut and dry. So we more just wanted a place to even just put money that we do make from fundraising as a place where we can use it for allocating for certain needs. And the reason that I said $3,000 is, I'm going to be honest, there is not like an exact formula that I followed for it. I did not calculate. I said 3,000 because I kind of wanted to go for a ballpark of just what we think could be beneficial. However, we're more than happy with even $1,000 or $500. I mean, just anything to get the ball rolling with that. We are happy with it.
Okay, thank you. I yield.
Before we go to Withers, I have one question for you, then one thing to flag. So do you plan to come back this year at all for printing or, because I know you all came over this summer.
Oh, this is going to be our last request for the end of the school year. Don't worry. I know this is my second time already. So yes, this will be the last time.
Okay.
For anything including your events.
Yes, this would be the last time we'd be requesting money for the rest of the fiscal year.
Okay, and then the one thing I want to flag is you mentioned snacks before. Giving out snacks is fine, but ASUO's financial team is really cracking down on you're not supposed to give snacks I hate it.
No, that
I
is.
just want to tell you guys so you guys know,
Okay, yeah. We would just have certain events or meetings or everything, and then people would go to to a Costco bulk thing of variety tips or something. But yeah,
just wanted to.
Yes, that's good to know. Thank you.
Withers, and then Ducharme.
I'm just gonna make the motion for the first request, because that money is rightfully yours. So I move to authorize spending from surplus to group Align Magazine OS 312I to line item printing in the amount of $11,556.04. Well, the request says 4 cents, or the presentation said 4 cents, the request doesn't.
Round.
Okay.
I think, yes.
$11,556.
Motion made by Withers, seconded Peters. Is there any discussion on this motion? Brennan?
Could you explain again to me what exactly?
What I was told by
you were told
Sauce,
them?
is that. Oh, can you speak to this a little more? Okay.
Yeah, I'm Alliance Tag Officer, so so this was a charge for the spring term of last year. For their printing for last year, it was $11,000. But it was accidentally taken from the budget for this fiscal year. But then, like Talik said, the money, so at the end of last fiscal year, they had 11,000 extra dollars. And that money went to surplus, and then they were charged $11,000 for this fiscal year.
So they had 11,000 at the end of their year and it was swept back to surplus.
Yes.
And what do you mean the charge?
But so it was like a purchase order from last fiscal year from FY 24. But it was taken from FY 25's ledger.
Okay, so is this paying for last year's printing technically?
No, we technically already paid for last year's printing because they took it out of our printing line item for this fiscal year. Which we got set over the summer to pay for the next 3 issues, so fall, winter, and spring. But because they took the money from this year to pay for the spring term last year, now we're short.
Okay, gotcha, that makes sense.
Okay. Motion was made by Withers and seconded by Peters. Is there any more discussion? All right, let's vote. Peters.
Aye.
Lopez. Aye. No, I think it's for, we still have one more motion to go. Yeah.
Aye.
Oh, aye. Potter.
Aye.
Ackman. Aye. Pindy.
Aye.
Brennan. Withers.
Aye.
Ramirez Pineda.
Aye.
Nagarajan. Aye. Hasbeck.
Aye.
Ackman. Scrum.
Aye.
Dillon.
Aye.
Ludeman.
Aye.
Ducharme.
Aye.
Cole.
Aye.
Garrity.
Aye.
Yes, Joanne, your name was called. I'll check it. And I say aye as well. So that first one passes. Okay, Withers, do you yield?
Yes, sorry.
Ducharme and then Ramirez Pineda.
I yield. I wanted to make a comment about the previous one, but my question was what I wanted to say was already said by others. I yield. Thank you.
Okay, Ramirez Pineda.
I also yield.
Okay. Now we got one more motion to make this a $3,000.
I don't know if y'all can adjust it in person, but if y'all want to adjust it and be like, we'll only approve for XYZ amount, that's also totally fine.
Okay, you guys want to Ramirez Pineda, next.
I was gonna go ahead and make that motion if everyone's okay with this. Yeah. Yeah, okay. I move to authorize spending from surplus to Align Magazine OS number 312I in the amount of $3,000 to new line item marketing and advertising.
Second Withers.
Motion made by Ramirez Pineda, second Sprout. Is there any discussion? Ackman?
3,000 divided by 150, you said, right?
Yeah, but as a whole, we reach roughly like 500 students.
Okay, well then that's a pretty good student per dollar ratio, so that's all I was gonna say.
Okay.
I yield.
I yield. Okay, great. Okay, we'll vote if there's no discussion.
Aye.
Lopez. Muhammad.
Aye.
Bonner.
Aye.
Ackman.
Aye.
Pinero.
Aye.
Brennan.
Aye.
Withers.
Aye.
Ramirez Pineda.
Aye.
Nagarajan. Aye. Wu. Wu. Hasbeck.
Aye.
Agdalene.
Aye.
Sprout.
Aye.
Dillon.
Aye.
Ludeman.
Aye.
Ducharme.
Nay.
Oh.
Aye.
Garrity.
Aye.
And I say aye as well. Congratulations.
I just want to say your microphone is pretty quiet and it's pretty hard to hear you sometimes. You miss my you.
Some of the music playing, it is a little.
And then the music is loud.
It's fire though, I can't lie. I love that song they were just playing.
Okay, do we have anyone with us in next month? Thank you, man. We can Sundance Dance Marathon, or we can. You already.
I noticed this earlier, I want to say this now that, in the Duck Dance Marathon's request, it says they met with Avery McDowell, but Avery McDowell is a POC at large seat, not a senator.
Great, okay, yeah, so I guess actually I should do that. Okay. That do we?
Should we just?
Yeah, somebody take it, just for the.
I move to table the surplus request from Duck Dance Marathon. Second.
Motion with Benny, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Great, all right. Executive branch updates.
Hello, everyone. For my first update, party registration training number 1 has occurred this past week and it was a huge success. Really great turnout and it's really fortunate that we're kind of doing it before Halloween weekend, so awesome. EPRC has submitted our first round of recommendations for approval to the Dean of Students and to the ASUO President, so hold out for that. Hopefully we'll have a few new student boards that I can introduce. Our Secretary of Events, Spencer, is coordinating a men's health center with a men's health fair with the men's health center, men's resource center. Men's resource center. I should just spitball here instead of reading off document. That will occur November 8th from 11 to 4 p.m. in the amphitheater. And also now that the Fall Street Fair is over, we are beginning the planning process for the Winter Fest and Spring Festival. Next week, Hunter Doling, our executive finance director, is going to be giving a presentation at Senate with our executive benchmarks, along with a training about just the financial and fiscal process for people who should know it and haven't been a part of the finance committees. Columns will be coming to next week's Senate as well to deliver kind of a media training for like 10 to 15 minutes. So it's a bit of an overview about the format in your writing for like emails as an officer, kind of code of conduct for talking to reporters or having interviews, RAND guidelines, et cetera, et cetera. Also, more currently, I am doing a lot of work with Diversity Action Committee. So funny enough, on the ASUO Constitution, it says that the Vice President heads the Diversity Action Plan. However, the Diversity Action Plan is a really obscure and vague framework that no VP historically has kind of understood what to do with it. So that's kind of what I'm going to be working on this year. If you would look on the SharePoint, the last Diversity Action Plan was made 12 years ago. So that's kind of the problem, and we're going to be developing a framework for how the Diversity Action Committee should go in the preceding years. And so that's what I'm going to be working on, along with a bunch of constitutional amendments for like codifying who should be on the committee, should the committee have bylaws, what's going to be on that. So if anyone is interested, please Teams me, because it's going to be a lot of work, but it's going to be really, really rewarding, and hopefully we'll be able to sort out a really good system for ASUO in the future. Yeah, that's all I have.
Awesome, thank you. Ducharme.
Thank you so much, Vice President. I was curious for the Surplus Accessibility Committee as we talk about unallocated reserve. I wanted to know the number, if you knew the number of orgs that were on the list recommended by the ERPC.
Yes, well, so far we have had, I can actually pull it up, 1 out of the 4 was tabled, so 3 out of the 4 have been submitted to the Dean of Students and the ASUO President for approval. And we have 4 more next week.
So a total of 8 in the pipeline, but only some of those are actually moving forward right now at this moment?
Yeah, so far in total, we have done about 4 hearings. And then we voted over them. 3 of them have been approved by the EPRC. And so final approval goes to the Dean of Students and the ASUO president. And we have about, let me see here, 9 more hearings that have been listed in altogether. But it kind of changes and fluctuates as people sign up. So it's a rolling basis.
Understood. Thank you very much.
Of course.
Field.
All right. Finance committee reports, VP Gary.
Hi everyone, so PFC started our budget hearing cycle on Monday. We had a fantastic time doing our budget hearings. I think one thing that I do want to bring to the table is that we decided to table Concord's hearing. Concord was asking for about $33,000 next year, all going towards stipends, with $300 going to graduation stalls, and that is I believe a decrease from the last fiscal year, but an increase from the 23-24 fiscal year. I have to look exactly at my spreadsheet to know where they stand. And the reason, the reasoning behind that is a lot of PFC members wanted to learn more about Concord before making a final decision and wanted to kind of, just learn more about Concord and kind of understand the whole stipend allocation process, especially for Concord. So yeah, I think that's all I have PFC updates.
Great. Sure.
Alrighty, CFC updates. So we're meeting on Friday and at 12 in the Lightning Room and Lightning Room, also known as EMU 11, on the ground floor of the EMU. I will get into this, but we kind of finished our benchmarks, but I was informed by Becky that we couldn't allocate less than what the contract said, although there may be a chance that the childcare co-op contract does accept the less amount than we allocated. If you all remember, over the summer, there was a shortfall from where CFC of previous year allocated to what CFC needed, which was $900,000. They still need that $900,000, but we're only able to allocate them another $100,000. So we thought that would be, we could allocate them $100,000 and see if they could work with that. We're still not sure. The budgets are due on November 1st at 6 p.m. But I emailed them and requested that they hopefully get it in a little earlier. So we'll get it in a little earlier and we will be discussing that. That'll be the main focus of this meeting. And it's quite a big deal because it's a large chunk of our budget. And even if we can't we can, but it's kind of at the decision point now with whether ASUO continues to fund the childcare co-op, because this will be for our future budget benchmarks essentially. So we're setting aside $800,000 and saying no one else can use that, or we're saying no, we're gonna let other people use that, and that'll be a big decision point whether ASUO continues childcare or does not. So yeah, I would, especially for the academic senators or any other senators from the other finance committees, feel free to come. We could use your advice. I know I could tell you more of the context there, but also if you remember to the surplus requests I made over the summer, essentially their cost has ballooned as the economy has also ballooned, I suppose, for lack of a better word. I yield.
And I'd like to just thank Jordan and Jordan's committee for all of really hard things. This hasn't been an easy steep to the top. And don't worry, you all, next week we get, all the finance committees will be reporting on, where we are at, so you will all be experts in the IED next week. Okay. Senator Moran, did us the CSD's map too?
Yes. Let me see. We revoted on our benchmarks, which reflects an additional $15,000 to the basic needs program. And this $15,000 is so that they can keep up with their food boxes that they give on the Portland campus. 100% of these food boxes are used up by students, and it's kind of like the only food pantry-ish program that they have over there. So yeah, that $15,000 is gonna increase that line item that they have on there before the money runs out. And only other update that I have from DMC is that one of the departments, the Oregon Athletic Bands, is hosting the Festival of the Bands. And if you guys are interested in going, I am sending their director the list of names of folks that want to go. And essentially it's just the high schools competing for prizes, and the Oregon Athletic Bands help the high schoolers out. And we get a VIP experience in the Autzen press box, which is very fab, and you should. And that's all I yield, plus to leave once.
Okay, thank you, Charles. Well, fab was the words of the day on Monday in DFC, so I'm gonna start working. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, thank you. Oh, US Senate met today. US Senate, we got to hear from President Schultz. Had a lot to say, but didn't say a lot, if you know what I mean. And we were able to report about all the good stuff. We got, and apparently street fair went really well, according to your admin, so congratulations to Run It and his department overall. Yeah, more soon. All right, I guess University Senate, ASUO University Senators will be at the President's House for the US Senate reception next week on Wednesday afternoon. So I can report about that when we get back for Senate.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
Okay, we can just move into resolutions. The first resolution is one that I worked on, calling for a winter special election. You all should have had the opportunity to review it. I sent it, I think, 48 hours ago. It's straightforward. It calls for a resolution to happen in the third week winter term due to various ballot measures, some that this president mentioned, some that I have been working on. This happened last year, so if anyone has any questions, someone has a motion. I move to adopt and then you have to read the whole thing. So.
I move to adopt the ASUO Senate resolution for winter special election topic resolution calling for a winter 2025 special election. Author ASUO Senate President Talik I. Lopez Huzal. Co-sponsor ASUO Senator Jamie Dillon. Whereas Section 13 of the ASUO Constitution uses the term general election, insinuating that there can be other elections that are not general, such as a special election. Whereas multiple constitutional amendments and other actions with clearly demonstrated exigency have been identified by leaders of the ASUO executive and legislative branches. Whereas for Section 15 of the ASUO Constitution, the only acceptable way to amend the Constitution is by means of a student body election. Whereas proper action has been taken by the executive branch to appoint an election board chair with the capacity to administer an election. Therefore, let it be resolved, effective immediately by the Associated Students of the University of Oregon Senate, that Section 1, a special election will take place during winter term. This will be referred to officially as the winter 2025 ASUO special election, or simply the special election. Section 2, the special election shall be limited to ballot proposals and amendments which are passed by the Senate in accordance with ASUO Constitution 15.4 and which demonstrate an exigency that requires them to be pass before the end of winter term and shall be enforced by the elections board. Section 3, the special election shall take place before the end of week 3 of winter term in the 2024-25 academic year. The length of the election voting period shall be 48 hours. The amount of time for submission of ballot proposals, referendums, and amendments shall be determined by the elections board. Section 4, the election shall take place through the Engage online voting platform. Section 5, the election shall be conducted by the elections board. Elections chair, with the assistance of the board members, shall uphold the election intentions and limitations outlined in this resolution through the creation and implementation of new election rules. Signed, President Talik I. Lopez Dubois.
Secretary Wu.
You know what? Motion made by Ludeman, seconded Wu. Peters.
Aye.
Lopez. Aye. Muhammad.
Aye.
Bo.
Aye.
Potter.
Aye.
Ackman. Aye. Pinheiro.
Aye.
Moreno.
Aye.
Withers.
Aye.
Rivera Pineda.
Aye.
Nagarajan.
Aye.
Wu.
Aye.
Esbeck.
Aye.
Pectalun. Scrub.
Aye.
Dillon.
Aye.
Ducharme, or Ludeman, sorry.
Aye.
Ducharme.
Aye.
Cole.
Aye.
Carey.
Aye.
And I say aye as well. Back immediately, it's election season, folks. Okay, now we'll move on to our second resolution. Before we begin the motion, I'd actually like to yield some time to the two students, or you both. The two students that actually brought this to our attention, the two students that asked for our help, and to speak a little bit more as to the value of this resolution. So Charlie and Sophia, thank you for being with us.
Thanks for yielding your time to wait. That's what you guys say.
Anytime. Yeah, you nailed it.
Thanks for having us. I mean, first of all, thank you to everyone that was part of the working group. I showed up at the Senate office one day and said, hey, we have this idea. We've been working really hard on it. It's needed here on campus. Y'all listened, which is your role. So appreciate you for fulfilling your role and fulfilling it with due process and taking the time to do so. So yeah, my name is Charlie Patrick. I'm here speaking on behalf of the establishment of Human Rights Centers, Center for Peace and Human Rights here at UO.
I'm Sophia. I know most of you guys, so I'm also a junior.
Yeah. So just brief overview. I know this might be coming in, maybe blindsiding what we're working on. This is also just advocacy. We've been doing a lot of work over the past 6 months with professors, with students, with a diverse group of people, with departments, with potential funders, to really get to the point where we are seeking to address gaps. I had to write it down because I know that I would just ramble because that's how passionate we are about this. I'm a global studies student. I showed up here wanting to study human rights. I was not able to. And last year, with the encampment, everything going on, a lot of students, there was a lot of energy and not a lot of ability to discuss what human rights were. And there's still that energy and still not a lot of ability. So we're proposing something that is student-oriented, physical space, something that we've said it a lot, but bridges theory and practice, and something that is supported by you, ASUO. So ultimately, a lot of it's outlined in there. We're gonna let Talik get to it. You have anything else to say?
If you guys have any questions, let us know, because it is a lot of words, but we'll be happy to explain everything.
Ultimately, this is addressing comparative opportunities, a lack that we face in comparison to our Big Ten partners. It's also addressing, some theory based on institutional voice. A report that came out of Harvard last year addressing the ability of institutions to speak on social issues. So that's embedded in this as well. And additionally, we're speaking directly to the provost in this sense, who we will be meeting with in the next month to establish a task force of students and staff who will then understand the format, funding, structure, risk, et cetera. So this will be leaving our hands in the form of activism and becoming institutionalized, hopefully with your help. So yeah, I guess we're open to questions, but you also can just go.
And I understand that if you want to make the motion, that if you want to make the motion, there can be still discussion afterwards.
Wonderful. I move to adopt the ASUO resolution in support of establishing a Center for Peace and Human Rights at UO. Authors Charles Patrick, Sophia Barghouti, Senate President Talik Lopez Dubois, Chair Bella Esbeck, Vice Chair Aaron Ludeman, Senator Liz Scrow, Senator Sama Mohammed, Co-authors, UO Coalition for Senator for Peace and Human Rights, Chair Jordan Ackman, Director Chris Walker, Director Avery Kassler, and Senator Ruth Ramirez Pineda. States. The Associate Students of the University of Oregon Student Senate acknowledges that one of the body's core functions is to engage students and advance their out-of-classroom experience at the University of Oregon, affirms that we provide a platform for students to gain experience as leaders and strive to provide the social, cultural, educational, and physical development of our members, seeks to catalyze personal growth and offer opportunities for students to thrive, addresses institutional issues that resonate with their concerns, having considered the motives of the university to abide by an impartial doctrine as outlined in Harvard's 2024 report on institutional voice in the university, which encourages students and faculty to seek truth through open inquiry, debate, and weighing evidence as opposed to mere assertion or unjustified belief, desires to cultivate an environment in which its members can research, teach, and learn, asserts that university leaders shall seek to promote an environment where its members with topical expertise and interests can advance the core function of the university that commits to the values of free inquiry, intellectual expertise, and productive argument among divergent points of view, understands that as related to our academic counterparts, the University of Oregon comparatively lacks educational programs, communities, organs, or curricula on the UO campus that focus on critical examination of human rights and peace building. This is validated by Stanford University, University of Utah, Purdue University, University of Maryland, University of Indiana, University of Wisconsin, University of California, Los Angeles, University of Southern California, University of Washington, Rutgers University, Northwestern University, University of Nebraska, University of Minnesota, Michigan State University, University of Iowa, The Ohio State University, and the University of Michigan, all having a center, program, robust course offering, or institutionalized community that focuses on providing human rights education, practical experience, research opportunities, or community action. The University of Oregon stands alone with Penn State and Illinois as the only three universities that shared extended Big Ten cohort that do not. Having noted initially uncoordinated responses from departments and schools in response to local, national, and global issues that involve themes of human rights and a need for more spaces that promote safe, mediated, and educated discourse, expresses the need to consolidate resources, opportunities, and expertise that are currently diffused across schools, emphasizes expressed student desires to educate themselves and the relative successes that they have achieved in these pursuits as not exhaustively evidenced by the winning of Rhodes Scholarships, Scoville Peace Fellowships, and Phi Beta Kappa distinctions by students who have pursued fellowships and work on human rights and peace. Acting under authority of the university ASUO Constitution, let it be resolved effective immediately by the associate students of the University of Oregon Senate that this body encourages the consideration of the preliminary, investigative, and collaborative work done by the UO Coalition for a Center for Peace and Human Rights that outlines a comparative need for a permanent student-oriented organ on campus that helps students bridge theory and practice surrounding its associate issues, calls upon the office of the provost to support the immediate formation and workings of a task force with a year-long charter comprised of equal parts faculty and students, diverse in their expertise and identities, to investigate the following charges. A, what is demonstrated need for a student-oriented center at the University of Oregon that would centralize resources and offer expanded opportunities for students to engage in critical studies and actions related to human rights and peace building. If such a need is substantiated, what organizational structure, programming, and faculty/student affiliations would most effectively support this initiative? And C, understand the associated risks and understand the associated risks and the feasibility of securing funding for a center in collaboration with relevant colleges, schools, or departments. 3, resolves that any solution provides students with further opportunities to pursue an education on human rights and peace building and understand their practical applications, reaffirms the need for a lasting physical space on campus where discussion and programs around these topics can grow and thrive and allow students to collaboratively and innovatively address local, national, and global issues from an informed, critical perspective, recommends that this process seeks to pull from existing models on campus and from effective models, including those of Stanford University, University of Michigan, University of Utah. However, shall seek to understand the existing needs of students, avoiding local duplication and subsequent misuse of resources, In doing so, the university commits itself to following the principles of institutional impartiality, advancing its standing as a top university in our academic conference, building further capacity for educational and research advancement, and allowing its members to investigate critical issues within their domain of expertise. Signed, Talik I. Lopez Dubois.
Secondly,
Made by Sprow, seconded Ludeman. Peters.
Aye.
Lopez. Muhammad.
Aye.
Boone.
Aye.
Potter.
Aye.
Ackman.
Aye.
Pinheiro.
Aye.
Moreno.
Aye.
Withers.
Aye.
Ramirez Pineda.
Aye.
Nagarajan.
Aye.
Wu.
Aye.
Hesbeck.
Aye.
Paxton.
Aye.
Stroh.
Aye.
Dillon.
Aye.
Ludeman.
Aye.
Ducharme.
Aye.
Cole.
Aye.
Gary.
Aye.
I say aye as well. The motion is adopted.
Thank you once again to the working group, seriously incredible, for like meeting with us and allowing us to ramble for hours on end, so yeah, really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
That was me. Okay. We're on to the rule amendments. Okay, so there's a strange part of the set of rules that says that Rules Committee should meet by November 1st and establish its rules by November 1st, but it doesn't ever say when Senate, like when the deadline is for Senate to change. And so I think putting this in, this goes into the miscellaneous section, I think it makes sense so that people like know when the Senate can change the rules and that way Concord's not confused and things like that. So that was for 14.1, section B. And this part, I helped write section 15 last year with former Senate President Tam. But when she titled it, she put completely this summer because there already is an ASUO Senate session, which is what we're doing. So that, so we can do them separately. So the motion is just I move to. So unless there's questions, but Withers go.
I move to adopt Senate Rule 14.1B.
second here.
Motion made by Withers, seconded Pinheiro. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed? Great. As that.
I move, is it adopt?
Yeah, I moved to adopt, yeah.
I move to adopt, Senate Rule, 15.
Motion made by Esbeck, seconded Lopez, all in favor?
Aye.
Great. Back to the class. Okay, oh, Dylan.
Senate Rules Finance Committee is meeting tomorrow at 6 to go over those, so interest please be there. I'll make it as quick as possible. Thank you.
Halloween at 6 p.m. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Not my decision.
Okay, Madam Chair, Esbeck.
Not much to update. We had our weekly meeting today at 5:30. Got cut short again, but that's okay. Besides that, we're working on bylaws or project. Exciting things. Come join us if you ever feel.
I told academic senators to have a full meeting next week. Ombuds.
Just please respond to my team's messages, like you can literally just like the message, please respond, and then also, yeah, just go attend your office hours because still people are like short 10 minutes. So please just stay 10 minutes, it's not that hard. Thank you, I yield.
Thank you, Treasurer Moran.
I think today was payday, so happy payday, everybody. It's good. Yeah, thank you. Happy Halloween.
Okay, VP Garrett.
Yeah, I had new updates. I guess in the meantime, Robbie and I have been talking, oh, that's sideways. Robbie and I have been talking to Julie and Becky about kind of SOPS practices, SOPS updating us with things and the like, because there's been a lot of confusion, not just with like senators and the rest of ASUO, but also like within PFC and student organizations. And it's getting to a point where PFC doesn't really even know like things that we should know. And it's making our jobs harder. So anyway, long story short is that we are hopefully workshopping some updates, not updates, we are hopefully workshopping some ways that we can get updates out and help kind of share the wealth of information about financial services as it pertains to our job, not asking everybody to like take on a huge workload, but trying to make sure that student orgs, senators, PFC, everybody else is on the same page about the rules that we need to know. And so if you have any kind of experiences or whatnot, or some things that you would like to say about that topic, always feel free to come to me so I can voice kind of those concerns should you have any. And second update, this is kind of sideways. I am not I'm technologically illiterate enough to figure out how to make it not sideways. Oh, I could put it in a Senate chat. But anyway, this is a sideways poster for Frankenstein playing with fire. It's yeah, that's teamwork. Glad that we can do it. So this is a poster for Frankenstein playing with fire. It's a show that is happening. It was sent to me by former Senator Paris Woodward-Gans. And yeah, they've asked that we all attend it. If you have time, November 8th, 9th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th. I know that Bella and I are planning on going together some weekend. So if you would like to join, feel more than welcome. I yield.
Chair's weekend out to Frankenstein. Okay. That was a meeting. Okay. Oh, so I'm happy to report that I'm meeting with Provost Long next week. We plan to discuss two major things and then possibly the resolution we passed for that. The first thing is the article that the Emerald wrote a couple of weeks ago about the textbook and price gouging and all that. Provost and I will have a nice long conversation about that. And we'll see what will come out of that because in that case, and then secondly, the student that came in. And the last time we had a meeting before last that talked about the pass fail date. Yes, thank you very much. Provost and I will also be discussing that. So what we do. That also might be a university. Oh, and also DFC budget hearings have been like semi-scheduled, I guess. I will share the schedule with you all as soon as it comes out. Because you all are required to attend 3 PFC budget hearings, 2 CFC budget hearing. So that Eleanor and I should be sending something out at some point.
I'll make a form.
Oh, wait, another form. I'll use Gary.
Speaking about PFC budget hearings, they always happen on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursdays. I also sent out an email to every single person in ASUO about our budget hearings. And so there is a Google Sheet available, and I don't want to have to send out an email every single budget hearing. So please check that Google Sheet before you come to me and ask me about when budget hearings are happening, because that information is already available. I'll also send it in a Senate chat.
Do y'all have a sign up sheet for when, like, at your budget hearings? No, because if not, I can like create one, but we just.
Sign up sheet for who?
Well, we have to sign in.
Yeah, whoever the minute takers are, just do.
Oh,
Just know like who, like.
that would be great. Okay, okay.
Yeah, we did intro stuff.
Awesome. Okay, oh, also.
Go ahead.
Okay,
Go.
also, super last minute, but this afternoon I met with president, and we set a date for ASUO's cultural competency training. This is a mandatory event. There will be pizza. Okay. We'll talk about that. We're gonna talk about that. The event is mandatory anyway, so whether there's pizza or not, it's next Friday from 3 to 5. Do you have any questions about that? Yeah, I'm gonna send out a bigger announcement. It's in Mackenzie. It's a nice room. It's got circular tables and whatnot.
It would be really helpful to know about these with 2 weeks in advance. I mean, I'm already
Yeah.
scheduled to work.
Okay,
Just on a shift, I can.
we
avoid
realized,
take off.
we were trying to get as much notice as possible, and today we realized that wasn't possible, so. What do you talk about that? But just put it on your radar for now.
What?
3 to 5.
I was also just gonna say, like, because I also will not be in June, so is there another option for this training? Like, is there like a secondary date maybe? Or
Yeah, well, we will get back to y'all on that. Everyone is bringing up very, very fair and valid points right now. Unfortunately, this was not ideal on our part at all, so apologies for the short notice, and in the future, next time we get such short notice. We had initially intended to coordinate the cultural competency training with the student orgs. However, it just didn't pan out, and we wanted to.
Yesterday. Yeah, we were
Exactly.
told yesterday we couldn't, and so we have a deadline in the Constitution to meet to be able to do this training, so that was our best.
Yeah, so on our end, we've been kind of scrambling to get this together by the Constitution deadline, but of course, it's not ideal for anyone, and so. If you do have something or conflict, just let us know and we'll work with you. It's mandatory, but of course, we understand that 7 days notice is not ideal, so of course, we want to work with you on that. Yeah, and we can probably work. And I will try to push for pizza.
Somebody else was, Miranda, yeah.
I have a question about the winter term special election resolution. I know it's a little late. It's in section 2 that says the special election shall be limited to ballot proposals and amendments which are passed by the Senate. And I was looking at the Constitution, and 15.1 says, except as otherwise provided in this ASUO Constitution, an initiative may be placed on the ballot by a petition containing the signatures of at least 5% of the members of this association. Does your ballot measure override this section of the Constitution? So students can still put a measure on the ballot? Thank you, I will.
Anybody else? Okay, yeah, I think that concludes my updates. Please keep going to board events, send your pictures to Elma. Coming to your office hours, and other than that. Dylan.
I move to approve the minutes from October 23rd, 2024.
Second.
Woo.
Motion made by Dylan, second by Miranda, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Other.
I move to adjourn. Second Scruggs.
Motion made by Leonard, second by Scroll, all in favor?
Aye.
Other, we are.
On Friday. Does anybody want? Lopez. Hope you want one.
I will see you after the election.
Yeah.